As urbanization continues to increase within Uganda, especially in urban centers like Kampala, people are faced with the usual challenges of what to eat, what to grow, but more importantly, where to grow it. Now, that is where the concept of urban farming comes in. And today we are at Gudula Leisure Farm, me and my little friend over here, and we are going to interact with Dr. Naiga Basaza Gudula, who is the executive director here, a very prominent farmer, but more importantly, one who can show you how to utilize your little space of land to grow a number of things, perhaps rear a rabbit like this one over here, and more importantly, excel and succeed in this urban world. Stay tuned as we bring you these details. First of all, Dr. Gudula, tell us a little bit about yourself and then about this place.
I am Dr. Gudula Naiga Basaza. I'm a social infopreneur and I'm the managing director of Gudula Leisure Farm. At Gudula Leisure Farm, we translate knowledge into business. We work to transform smallholder farmers to be able to earn from a planned, predictable, and profitable business.
Right.
And we support them to do this through training young people who are our business manager apprentice, who graduate and go back to their villages to train the farmers, give them the knowledge they require to be able to increase their productivity.
Right. That's quite amazing. What are some of the products that we have on this farm?
This farm is a white meat farm. We are into poultry, piggery, can culture, and aquaculture. Okay. Then we also have some spices and herbs that are aromatic that help somebody to enjoy their white meat.
Wow. And as you may know, very many people are rushing towards the urban centers, but eventually the biggest challenge they have is they assume the farms are left back in the villages. First of all, enlighten us, what is this big word urban farming all about?
Urban farming, in my view, is where somebody who is living in the urban is able to provide at least their needs for their kitchen.
Right.
But some people have gone slightly ahead. Apart from providing for their own needs, they are providing for other people's needs as well.
Okay.
So making it now a business. And we are blessed that we are in an era of a lot of technologies that enable us to use small spaces and earn more than people who have big spaces.
Wow. Do you practice urban farming yourself?
Yes, we do urban farming. Today, I tell you that each of these gardens that you're seeing belong to an entrepreneur. This entrepreneur is growing, for example, marjorie, somebody is growing chives.
Right.
These are herbs that you need for your food to increase their taste. And you want to take it when it's fresh, because if you have bought a spice which has been in the market for 3 days, it has even lost its taste and flavor. You want to take it when it's fresh. They are just putting it in pots. You carry the pot, and you're able to sell it. And you can earn your 500,000.
From this small piece of land?
From just this small piece of land. Huh. You keep making seedlings. Okay. The same mother plant, you are making seedlings all the time. Wow. Yes. And so it's urban farming is about using small spaces to earn from intensive care.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Does it have dynamic types in any case, without necessarily going academic? Does it have types?
Yes, there are different types. Now technologies that we are seeing, for example, aeroponics. Yes. I have little space, but I'm not limited going vertically. I can go up to wherever I want. Yes. But as I go vertical, I have to know how I manage my gardens. Are they going to be hydroponics where I'm using water so that I don't need to have soil? Maybe it's less heavy, maybe it's more exciting. So you have to think about so many things. How do I manage the nutrients? How do I manage the recycling? Right. Yeah. Wow. So it has types. Okay. Yeah, based on your ability to apply them, based on the space that you have, but also on what particular thing you are doing. I cannot tell you to do aeroponics with a banana, but you can do aeroponics with a vegetable. Okay. Yes. Amazing. Now, I've also noticed as we were going through the piggery, for example, there were some crops being grown on top of the pigsty itself. Is that part of urban farming? Or? Yes, that is part of urban farming. Yes. You may have a cow. You may have chicken, actually. You can also have pigs. But you have nowhere to grow these huge gardens of food. Yes, ma'am. So that is hydroponics. What you saw is hydroponics. Okay. What we are doing, we are growing maize. We enable them to germinate. Once the maize has germinated, it has more or less all the nutrients that your cow, your pig your chicken requires.
Yes.
So all I'm doing, I get my 1 kilo of maize, I soak it, we make sure it has all the nutrients that maize would require to germinate.
Right.
Then after 6 to 9 days, depending on your environment, you have germinated your maize and you have gotten 10 kilos.
What?
So
Within
you can,
just 1 kilo?
with 1 kilo that you started with, you have put in water and the requirements for growth.
Yes.
And here you have your 10 kilos.
Amazing.
Then you can feed your chicken, you can feed your pigs, and they will enjoy it.
Amazing. Now, what are the common products kept on an urban farm on a normal day?
Most people who are into urban farming are into vegetables because they take a short time to mature.
Yes.
That means that that same small piece of land, you are able to use it over and over again and be able to have money. It's difficult to have urban farming of those plants that take a whole year.
Like matoke.
Yeah, you are not going to. Okay, some people are doing it, by the way.
Oh, really?
They have made it more like a decoration. Instead of having trees, which I'm not using, I have my matoke in my different corners of my house.
Okay.
At least I want to buy banana leaves. Banana leaves is an expense for some people on a daily.
Yes.
So you save yourself from buying banana leaves. And you can get matoke once in a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So the space you have, your location where you are, all those things determine what type you are going to apply, but also your culture and your interest. There are people who cannot do without eating matoke in a day.
Yes.
So they must have matoke somewhere around them.
Okay. Amazing. Does it have an origin, the concept of urban farming?
It definitely has an origin. As people started moving from villages to towns, they were looking for the food they are used to taking. At times you reach a town and you find they don't have what you are used to eating.
Yes, ma'am.
Different cultures are eating different things. You might find that for us, our main vegetable is marakung. Your main vegetable is nakati.
Kalo, me, I'm a kalo person.
Okay, nakaro may be different. But if it's nakati, you reach a place where there is no single nakati.
Yes.
Then in trying to address your own cultural necessity, you start growing some little nakati in your area. Then some people come to visit and say, but can you sell us some nakati? Then you are thinking, this can be a good business. Then you start expanding,
Yes.
and you have then you start becoming an urban farmer. People are coming to you to buy. So there are so many different circumstances that enable people to grow. Then there are those who want to be organic.
Okay.
You don't trust the food that you're buying. You don't know which chemicals are being put there. Then you say, no, I can grow my own vegetables. I can make my own compost from all my leftovers. I will have a rich enough soil, and I can grow this. Then there is who want to have the local chicken.
Yes, ma'am.
You don't know where to get it from. It's very complicated. You say, no, let me construct a small pen in cage form, and I can have my chicken every week. I can have one chicken. I can have an egg every week. Wow. So there are different circumstances will make people do different things. I don't know if you managed to visit our rabbits.
Yes, yes.
When you look at that one hatch, it has 24 cells.
Wow.
With 24 cells, the typical family that loves rabbit, they can have rabbit every day
Every day.
without ever going to buy from anywhere.
Amazing.
And with their rabbit, they'll be able to pick all their different weeds, and the rabbits are going to eat that. So the whole family has like a cycle, but they are assured of food.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, now moving forward, Doctor, tell us about the benefits of urban farming.
The benefits of urban farming, one, you are guaranteed of the food that you are taking.
Right.
You know how it was made. And in most cases, people practicing urban farming, they try to be organic because they are targeting their family as the first consumers. But in so doing, the money you would have spent to buy this same food is saved.
Right.
You can use it for something else. You can use it for leisure.
Right.
You can use it for school fees or supporting somebody else out there who is less privileged. But on another hand, you can take it too far. You start selling other people. Because today, people are doing spices. Right. Here we have spices and herbs.
Yes.
This is chive. I will use my chive. I will sell it to someone. Someone will put in their food, will put in their tea. It will be smelling nice. Yes. They will come back. It will be a referral. So that means they are helping you to become a business person of chives.
Yes.
I'll be able to put them and give you to put on your balcony. Because today you cannot think that the urban farmers of today are the urban farmers of maybe 5 years ago. 5 years ago, all of us had a compound.
Right.
Our houses were closer to the ground. But today, of course, that is innovation also in that area.
Yes.
People are sleeping 10 floors, whatever. They can also do urban farming. What we have done the tire gardening.
Okay.
Get yourself a tire, grow the vegetable that you want, put it on your balcony. Send your child to go and pick. Teach your child so many things about caring, about responsibility, and that's it. And the tire can match the color of your house. You want it purple, you want it pink, you want it white, all that can be done for you. And this tire, when is it growing old?
It doesn't grow old.
You might grow older before the tire grows old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So those are the simple things that we are promoting in urban farming,
Yes, ma'am.
but which have a commercial benefit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what are the usual challenges that someone will expect to face within this urban farming practice?
I think the main challenge people used to have is the issue of space.
All right.
Someone says, you see, my home is small, what can I do? But now with aeroponics, you have no reason to talk about space because you can go as high as you want.
Right.
Who is stopping you? You are stopping yourself. Yeah, so that space problem is no longer the problem. The other one is maybe the type of soil. I'm in the urban, what kind of soil can I have? But now that has become a business opportunity for people like us.
Okay.
We are creating resoil, which is the soil that has everything that we require. You take our resoil, you use it. For 3 years, you don't need to put in any other soil enhancing product.
The resoil is what they were showing me there.
Yes.
She mentioned resoil and I didn't understand.
No, resoil is our premier product.
Wow.
We have made it in such a way to support farmers that want to get high productivity. With resoil, we have put in NPK that is slow releasing. Up to 3 years, you don't have to apply any other NPK of any kind.
Wow.
We are putting biochar, which conserves water at least for 2 weeks. So you can decide to irrigate twice in a month.
You go for a tour somewhere and you don't
Go
have to
for a
worry
holiday,
who will
come
water
back
your
and
plants.
water after 2 weeks. After 2 weeks. And that water is conserved and being released slowly to the plant. So so many technologies, they seem so small, but they are making urban farming the way to go.
Right.
Yes.
So how expensive or cheap is it? How affordable is it?
Urban farming, I believe it should be cheaper than the other way around. Because people, if I am working in Kampala or Wakiso like we are here, and I have a farm in Kamonkoli, I have to travel there. But here, it's already in my house.
Yes.
So transport is saved. I think the savings that urban farming does makes it cheaper for you.
Okay.
You have no transport. You have no worries. You harvest only when you want to take.
Right.
I only take only fresh vegetables. There's no reason to take a vegetable which has traveled so many distances, a long distance, which already has I don't know what.
Whatever contamination.
Today I want to eat spinach, go and pick spinach. Tomorrow I want to eat dodo, go and pick dodo. Fresh, all the nutrients are there. So probably it saves me from going to the doctor.
Amazing. And I also understand on this farm nothing goes to waste.
No.
Tell us a little bit about your recycling process.
As we are a zero waste farm, that's a decision we have made, partly to contribute towards conservation of the environment, but also we are champions of climate smart agriculture.
Okay.
Actually, we have a module that enables anybody in any value chain to be able to implement climate smart agriculture. So what we did with everything that we run, every waste is a raw material for another element.
Right.
The waste we get from our poultry, we use it to produce maggots, we use it to produce worms, which too we use to feed our other animals.
Yes.
We fertilize our ponds with the waste from the poultry, and the ponds have their planktons and they are able to feed our fish. But on the ponds we are putting on the water weeds, which eat some of the excess waste, and also the waste of the fish. Water weeds, we have 4 water weeds here. We have the water hyacinths, we have Kariba weed, we have Azora, we also have duckweed. And all these, we feed them to our pigs. These plants you see, they have about 40 to 50% protein.
Wow.
So there is no waste. Actually, we don't have enough waste.
So if you have waste, bring it here.
Yes, that's true.
Amazing. As we conclude, ma'am, what do you think could be the quickest way someone can roll into urban farming if they want to start after watching this show?
The quickest way to do this, they have to identify the reason why they are doing it. If you are doing it for your home, then look out, what is it that I normally buy that I could grow? If I'm the one who takes chicken every day, probably you need a chicken pen.
Right.
If I'm the one who takes rabbit, so it should be addressing a need. So if you start from yourself and you have satisfied your need, look for people of similar needs. They will always be there. You have your colleagues that have grown eating chicken every day like you. Then you proceed.
Wow.
Start from yourself,
Okay.
then move. This is our simple technology that enables us to use waste from poultry.
Right.
So we call it a roaster. So we have a drum. We are able to rotate it, and you will have a fire under. And this fire could be fire from waste as well.
Really?
Yes, you will burn your chicken litter, get fire, and use the fire of chicken litter to sterilize chicken litter, then use it for feeding. Once it is sterilized, you can use up to 20% in your feed,
Wow.
which reduces the cost of feeding your pigs. But anybody could do this from in their place.
From some, as long as. Oops.
Anyone can construct this.
Okay.
You must always make sure it stops here.
Is this your own innovation?
This is our own innovation.
Amazing.
Because we had a lot of litter, but you cannot apply litter directly from the chicken pen into here. You see, every week we remove litter
Yes.
because we are selling broilers weekly.
Yes. As we move on to the other showcase, who are some of your clients for this chicken?
For the chicken, we are supplying our youth vendors.
Okay.
We have youth that we work with, whom we supply on 1 day loan. They come and take the chicken, roast it in the evening, bring back the money tomorrow as they are picking the batch for the next day. You know, we are working around youth. We are working around having connected value chains of youth for youth.
Right.
So the youth who supply us the maize are organized. They supply the youth who are raising the pigs, or the chicken, or the rabbits. Then these supply the youth who are roasting. Yes.
And the youth who
It's
are roasting?
youth for youth.
Amazing. That's quite amazing.
The youth, those ones who are roasting must be supplying everyone. And youth
To the
inclusive.
workers.
And youth inclusive.
Yes.
Yes.
Indeed.
So as we stand here, I'm not sure if you're smelling anything.
No, the smell isn't as bad as I expected.
Is it there? Are you smelling anything? No.
Maybe
Because that is
roasted. That
this is something that we control with our products of Ogafume. We are able to guarantee that all our pigs, because at any one time we have close to 1,000 pigs here. We have actually just sold a number of our pigs, but with those pigs we guarantee that we are not smelling. This is something we have agreed on with NEMA because they control us for smell, for noise, quality of the water.
Yes.
So it being organic in what we are doing, it helps us also to meet the conditions of the National Environment Management Authority. So our pigs will never smell, will not have fly, will not have lice, will not have mites, just because
And
of
there is no
Ogafume.
smell. At some point I kept getting scared of coming here because of...
No, but with urban farming, those are things you have to put into consideration. You don't want to have chicken and the whole environment cannot breathe at night because the air coming from your chicken is a nuisance. That's why you have to apply such technologies like Ogafume, which is already on the market. We are selling Ogafume in 45 districts now. We have 45 agents. Wow. We're so doing, you can do that.
And this is another innovation.
It's an innovation, but now since you are here for urban farming, it's an innovation that supports urban farming in animals. Smell, because smell is something that nobody wants. Yes, so that one you are able to handle it. You handle the smell of your animals.
Wow.
And probably when you visited our can culture, you noticed that we collect the urine.
Yes.
You as an urban farmer, that urine also is a business of its own. You can use it to make a pesticide. So you can learn a lot by being organized because you don't want the urine to spread everywhere, to spread in somebody's apartment.
Indeed.
So, but in so doing, you start up another business altogether.
Wow, it's quite amazing, quite amazing.
Final words is that we want to thank all the viewers out there, and we want to send you courage and tell you urban farming is possible. Urban farming will reduce your costs, but can also be a source of income, and can also be an opportunity for you to teach your children about farming because we are purely, as a country, we have all it takes to be the food hub, not only for the continent, but for the world. And we can only do that by instilling it in the people that we live with. And urban farming is one way that can help you to instill that in the people you live with. But even with urban farming, you have the opportunity to teach young people so many things. Economics. At times, instead of having a piggy bank, somebody would rather make for us tomatoes and we buy their tomatoes and they put the money in the piggy bank instead of me giving them the money which they have not worked for.
Indeed, indeed. Well, there you go, dear viewer, you heard it yourself, and this is, of course, Dr. Gudula Naiga Basaza, who is an expert in agriculture, in farming, and today she has really done her best in telling us about urban farming. Do you want to practice it? Are you interested in knowing a lot much more? Do get to some of these places like Gudie Leisure Farm here in Nigeria and get to understand how much magical, I call it magical because like she has said, you don't even need land to grow, how much magical urban farming can be. Of course, stay tuned here on Eco Farm. I'm Ronald Tush Kamweya.